Hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Pink Sock Podcast. I am your host, Mike Usnick, and we took kind of a break, didn't we? We went from Saturdays to Mondays, and man, we ain't done this in it's been a while. And last time we had Ryan Roxy on, but we didn't have Tony. But guess who's back? I'm back! My co-host, Tony Matai.
The comic relief.
The comic relief. So, guy's going to be a little late. I just want everybody to know that. But we're still going to have the show. The show must go on. The show must go on. But before we start our little conversation, I would like to give a shout out to our patrons. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the people in the chat, we wouldn't be doing this still. We would have been just another podcast, couple episodes done, but we're still here. So I'd like to give a shout out to our patrons. Gorak, Hot Amy, Gloria, David Dowdle. If you want to become a Patreon, ta-da, because the Y got cut off, but if you want to become a Patreon, ta-da, you can go to www.patreon.com/official Mike Usnick. Ta-da! I typed it, and I guess the Y didn't hit, but whatever. Also, you can become a Pink Socketeer, which is when you go on Patreon. If you pay $1 a month, we'll give you a shout out like we just did to thank you for being a Pink Socketeer. If you pay $5 per month, we'll give you a shout out on this show for being our loyal Patreon, and we will type out a personal message. I've been taking care of those, Tony, but if you want to do your own little message, just send them to me.
It's gonna be the format or whatever we need to do it on. Yeah.
Okay. And we also will what was that again? Okay. We will give you first dibs on fan select topics, and if we have a guest on, you get first dibs on the questions. Also, we have the $10 one, which is the same thing as that one, but you get a VIP one-on-one private chat with me and Tony, which we haven't been able to schedule yet. I'm working on it with the patrons right now. There's just conflicting schedules between me and them, but it will happen. And you also get VIP access to the backstage area, which I've been trying to do, but nobody's been available on Saturdays or Mondays. But we will get back on top of that. So, Tony, we have a skeptic in the room.
Who?
You.
I'm not really a skeptic, per se.
Do you believe in the paranormal?
Yeah.
Guy, it's going to be very interesting because Guy, from what I've heard him say, he has a poltergeist living in his house. Do you believe in poltergeists?
Poltergeist? Sure.
We froze.
Wait, it freeze again?
Like, I think it's crazy because it froze, but we're good. What I don't believe, I believe it, but what it's hard to believe for a lot of people is a poltergeist because the doors will open and shut randomly. Your ceiling fan will turn on when the electricity's not even on. Crazy shit happens when a poltergeist is around.
Yeah, it's normally the white people when that happens.
Because we don't move.
It's like the Amityville Horror House. It's like a walk in. It's it's a beautiful house. The kids are playing out in the tire swing. It's a really good house. Get out! I'm gonna love living here. It's strictly a white person thing.
It is. It is. Because we're like, oh, we just have a neighbor living in the attic. Hi,
What's up,
everyone in the
everybody?
chat.
I've been gone for
But
so
yeah.
long.
But yeah, like Guy has been living in the same house for most of his life.
I don't know how I could.
So you're right. I would have moved. I would have been like, yeah. And then
You can
people's like, why are you people like, why is the house for what's up, Anders? People are like, why are you selling the house? Well, I don't know. It's a nice house, but I just want a better place. There's a neighbor in the attic.
Yeah.
I Kanak. That is a very good cartoon of Kanak.
That's pretty good.
It's kind of pale though in comparison to Kanak.
I didn't know Connect had a. Well, yeah, I guess he had a beard.
Oh, look who's joining the chat. I'm gonna take over the chat for there he is.
Oh, is that
David,
Emo?
that's Emo. Emo is the not the original, but one of the many vocalists.
No, he's the original.
Oh, he is. He's one of the many. I know he's one of the many vocalists that Songs of Silence.
He's OG status, man.
So, like, did you see that? Are you into paranormal shows? Like, do you watch them?
Like, I don't watch them on purpose, but if they're on, I'm not going to turn them off. Like I like watching Ghost Adventures a lot.
I love Ghost Adventures. Everyone's getting in the ghost thing lately. Even Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I know, right? Me and Felicia were watching that quarantined lockdown episode with Zach Baggins and Ghost Adventures about him opening up Dybbuk boxes, and I'm like, man, that is stupid.
Don't do that. Well, I don't know. Have you seen the new Ozzy show? Because I know it's on right now. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that where they talk about like spooky stuff.
Yeah, they have like ghost people, hunters and paranormal investigators on there, and I guess they're trying to get Ozzy and Sharon to believe.
Well, yeah, like Jack would just sit there and he'll play like these videos that he finds on the internet of like crazy crap that happens, and he'll. So, what do you guys think? You think it's real, or do you think it's bullshit?
Ozzy would be like, I don't know.
I don't know whether Ozzy believes half the shit or he's just like messed with psychedelics so much that he's probably seen shit while he's tripping.
Let me tell you about the ghosts, man. I'm pretty sure Ozzy himself is haunted. like he is haunted.
That doll Robert. Remember that doll? The doll that Jack bought and it like on the Jack and Ozzy's detour?
Yes. And then Ozzy blew it up.
Yeah. Well, he tried burying it on a beach. He tried doing a whole bunch of shit.
Welcome, Funky. Funky hasn't been in the chat for a while. But yeah, he tried blowing it up, and then they had that paranormal guy with the big afro.
Yeah.
What's his name?
The afro?
Yeah, the guy with that big white afro.
Oh, I can't remember that dude's name.
Is he your dad? No, but he has bitchin' hair.
That's where you get your fro from.
My dad.
Perfect. Perfectly shaped.
I need one of those. He looks like a bathroom sponge.
Like a fucking big ass Brillo pad.
The thing I don't get though about some of the paranormal shows is like it's the same shit. Like, did you hear that? And you're like, hear what?
Here's where my skepticism comes in. Okay, I believe the stuff is real.
Mm-hmm.
I do not, however, believe the shit that they put on TV is real because if it was, it would cause a fucking worldwide panic.
Well, some of the shows, they're like, did you hear that? And you hear nothing. And they're like, well, did you see that? See what? That thing on the wall just moved slightly to the left. And you're like, maybe wind?
You know, be a better show than
What?
like Ghost Adventures and stuff like that. You get the same reactions out of these people. You just have like meth heads going to this like abandoned asylum, all tweaked out. They're like, dude, did you hear that?
Speaking of meth, let's give a little shout out to handling the comments. Kat. She's backstage dying laughing.
I think it'd be a good show, but it'd be a really hard pitch.
Right? We got to give them all meth. What? That's too much money. Not that I would know. I have no idea.
Breaking Bad meth.
Oh God. Like the meth that would take the fucking wallpaper off your house. Did you ever watch Dumb and Dumber 2, the second one?
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that one.
You know that scene where that guy was making crystal meth in their house?
Mm-hmm.
That's Bill Murray. Yeah. That's fucking Bill Murray. He only has one line in that movie, and he's not really credited, I don't think. So, Bill Murray's making meth. I like how we're talking ghosts, and then now we're talking about meth. I don't know.
Don't start about that. Hey, you did it. Accidentally.
Ghosts aren't real, but unicorns are. Don't start about meth. Hey, we on Pink Sock Podcast, nothing is off limits. We just talk about meth. All kinds of shit.
Any accidental
Have you ever had a paranormal thing happen to you? Like, have you ever had like ghosts or whatever?
I've been in houses where like doors will shut or like lights will turn off and on without me being in the same.
Wouldn't that be like a poltergeist? Isn't that?
I have no idea.
In our house we have a ghost. It don't do much anymore, but it used to like open and shut the bathroom door. It pushed my dad down the steps, like all kinds of crazy shit. Ghosts are real. We have one in my house and my boys are afraid of. Yeah, like I believe in the paranormal, but I do think a lot of these ghost shows are overreacting to make money instead of actually going on ghost adventures.
Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier is like my only skepticism is the shit on TV, because like, dude, if the stuff on TV was real, which it probably is, but like to the extent that they blow it up, people will be out.
Well, Guy McCort, who's going to be on here hopefully shortly, he actually does do ghost hunts, and his stuff is
up at Egypt Valley.
Yeah, I think he's been to Egypt Valley before. He has a YouTube channel. If you're interested in checking it out, and you guys, everybody in the chat's interested in ghost stuff, so you can subscribe on the YouTube channel, Valley of Darkness Paranormal Chronicles. Oh, sorry. Bring up Amy's comment again. I'm sorry about that. But Amy's a good supporter, and without further ado, Guy is backstage. He's getting ready. He's getting set up. But this guy does legit investigations. He does like actual, he has a poltergeist in his house, and he found a dress when he was going through his, I think he was like rearranging his basement or whatever, or doing something. And he found a dress in dirt with bones and shit.
I wouldn't mind getting super stoned and witnessing an exorcism. Well,
I don't think he has an exorcist living in his house, but let's go live at Guy's house for about a month or a week. Hey, just so you know, Guy, you are backstage right now, but your device is not connected. So you got to give your device the okay to use your camera and microphone, and we will bring you on the show. This is what happens when you're live, folks. Accidents happen. People are late, but me and Tony make it work.
Yeah, we're here.
So let's see what the chat is saying. The chat is very interested in ghosts right now. Of course, hopefully so. Guy is going to be here soon. He's just running a little late. So it happens. My son, when he was little, used to tell me there was a little girl that kept scaring him. He said, "Can't you see her?" Oh, shit. What would you do in that situation?
My kids think there's something up in their closet all the time. There's
Yeah, that's fucked.
Dude, all right, so we put cameras in the room, right? And like in the middle of the night, they'll all be asleep, and then their closet door will just slowly open,
Oh,
and
shit.
then it'll slowly shut. Like that's some creepy shit.
I don't know. They say that dogs can see things too, like kids and dogs and like all these different. My puppy, not my puppy, but my dog at the time, my grandma died. And when she was alive, I used to be on the computer and she used to like rub my hand and then rub my hair and be like, "It's time for bed." And I'd go upstairs and get to bed. Well, the night she died, I felt a cold wind brush my hand and then brush my hair. I'm like, "That's fucked." So I went to go to bed and my dog walked up to her chair that she used to sit in. Tail went in between his legs and he ran away from it. He would not go near that chair for months. And like, that's fucking terrifying. It's fucking terrifying.
Amy says she cusses her ghosts out.
You mother.
See, that's something I won't do. I will not pick a fight with some shit that I cannot see.
He's fucking trying to fight the ghost. That's fucked. That's fucked.
Like you remember that movie Paranormal Activity that came out like forever ago now? The first one?
Yes. I wasn't a big fan. They were boring to me, but
I thought it was mostly boring, but like that part halfway through the movie, the dude's like, "Come on out here, demon, let's fight, let's fucking go." And I'm like, "Dude, you're dead. Like that's it. You're done."
Which movie was it where they just kept zooming in on the pull vacuum?
Third one maybe? Second.
I'm like, I didn't watch it all the way through. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this pull vacuum?
I think the only scary part of that whole first Paranormal Activity movie is when, like, right at the end, we see the girl dragging that dude's dead body up the steps, and then all of a sudden she yeets him across the room with the camera.
I was home alone and the electricity went off. I got in the balcony to see. There were 3 little boys waving at me. Holy fucking
That's some, like Children of the Corn shit. No. Don't do that. I would freak out. Like, I would straight up freak out. Tony, this is how many fucks you give today. You're just like lighting them up on the air. I don't care. It's for good.
It's for the ghosts. The thing is, where they were, no one ever visited that place for some unknown reason, and it was always black. It was always a blackout area. And I came back into the living room, and he felt sick for a week. I would feel sick for a while if I saw little fucking children or whatever.
You walk outside, you see Children of the Corn just sitting there waving at you. I would go sleep with my shotgun.
Big fuck no. I don't think a shotgun would work if it's already dead.
Would you go outside and get in your car and leave, or would you stay in the house?
I'd leave. It ain't my house. By the way, Ken was talking. He just was at a random. I'd walk. I'd be like, fuck you. I'm out of here. I'm fucking out of here. Our house was built over 100 years ago, so I do believe there are ghosts, and my son Ryan talks to someone that I can't see, but he can. Even when he was a baby, he would wave and blab all the time. Holy fuck. Everyone has these crazy ass ghost stories. This one time I was listening to my vinyl record, and the electricity didn't go for nothing, but the needle just lifted up and went back halfway through a song. I'm like, apparently you don't like that song. Like,
I would take authority against ghosts if Jesus was on my side, but he's not. So
ask the ghost hunter if I'm making a good decision by taking authority. I will ask him once he comes on. Here's the issue. Here we go. He's finally here. Without further ado, we have Guy McCort. How you doing, brother?
Good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. It's live. Anything can happen. So I'm just glad you made it.
Yeah, it's been a hectic day. I forgot that it was Labor Day, and it was having a big family cookout and all that stuff. So I got his text, and
I get you. I get you.
Grocery store. What's that?
oh, did it freeze?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
hear Guy, you froze.
I'm froze.
Finish what you're saying, Guy. No, we froze. Everybody froze. We have a little bit of an issue with StreamYard today.
Okay, that happens. Probably a busy day, being Labor Day.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's home watching their porn or whatever. But anyway, how you been doing, Guy?
All right, man. All right.
So, without further ado, since you're here, I would love for you to tell us. I'd love for you to tell us about this poltergeist that lives in your house.
Well, it's so deep and it's so layered, and it goes back for years and years and years, 40 years longer. There's even reported activity in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And it has a very, very thick and layered history with a lot of tragedies along the way, peppered throughout that history.
So what all has happened, like, with this poltergeist?
Well, the poltergeist thing, right? Is pretty much considered a PK incident today. It's not necessarily paranormal, because sometimes if somebody's going through a very rough and emotional time and they're very stressed out, it can create what's called psychic trauma. And that psychic trauma can make things happen and move around you. And so, but there's more to that too, though. We've had things move in front of us, move slow, and was it an outward manifestation of what I was going through at that time living there? That we don't know. We just don't know. But it started when I was about 10 years old, and I got yanked out of bed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And, well, it started my sister come into my bedroom, and we was both at that age and where we didn't like each other, and we didn't like each other. So I'm kicking her, trying to kick her out of the bed, and she's like, "No, something's pulling the blankets." No, you're just having a dream. Go back to bed,
Oh, shit.
Well, she finally convinces me to go over and lay down with her until she falls asleep. And she's falling asleep, and I'm getting ready to get up, and I start to fall asleep. And I feel something yank on the blanket. And I'm thinking, okay, what was that? And then I kind of start pulling back up easily with some tension. Yanks it again real hard, almost yanks it out of my hand. This time I'm yanking it hard and it yanks it clear out of my hand.
Oh,
And
shit.
it sounds like a wooden spool or something under there was carpet, but it sounded like wood on wood sound. As this blanket went under the bed. And we thought maybe it was Curly, our dog, and well, as soon as he heard his name, he comes running up the steps, so I was like, okay. And then that was when it started, but also before that time, the funny part is I had an NDE from pneumonia, and I've had a couple of them from being deathly sick pretty much. But what was wild around about that time is somehow that affected my sister too. But then you were getting into the spirits of that house. It's been there. There's a lot of tragedies that's happened. But yeah, it manifested to the point to where sometimes I'd get yanked out of the bed at night.
Oh, shit.
I'd wake up and my blanket would be gone. And I'm like, where's my blanket? It's cold. And I go into the other room trying to grab another blanket. I grab a blanket, go back to bed, cover myself up. And when I wake up in the morning, it's my blanket.
That's fucking crazy. That had to have traumatized you as a kid.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing worse. And, I had to see a school counselor. And, oh, God, that stuff don't exist. You're being abused at home. And you just don't know it. And I'm like, no, it's nothing like that.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
So why haven't you, a lot of people, skeptics and stuff would ask, why haven't you moved? Is it because you wrote books about it and people don't want to risk it? Or
I've moved. I moved a year ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And I'm letting a family member live there now, and he's experiencing stuff now too. So yeah.
Well, at least you got away from it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, and it follows sometimes too, because I'm also an investigator. So we're out there going to some of the most haunted locations, I just want to see if there's anything close out there to what I experienced at my house. And so far, there's only been a couple locations that we've been to that is anywhere close. And that was probably Bobby Mackey's and the Dills.
I've heard Bobby Mackey's is fucking intense.
It messed me up a little bit. It messed me up for a little bit. Something followed me and it hung on for a while. And
because I saw in Ghosts.
That's a negative spirit. That's something negative that attaches onto you and uses your energy and it drains you so it can manifest and become more powerful. But not only that, after it starts doing it for long periods of time, it starts to oppress. When it starts to oppress, it breaks you down to the point to where you can be possessed, and that's when a lot of things happen, like some, suicidal thoughts. You feel like you're not worth it. There's so many things that can be. Some people contribute it to demons. I just call them negative entities because I really don't want to get into the religious dogma, but it's just negative entities. But yeah, it's Bobby Mackey's ain't no joke.
I've heard of, like, I saw it on Ghost Adventures where like stools would move and stuff. What all happened when you were there?
Well, it started, we were sitting at a table and I started choking. Like there was somebody smoking a cigar around me, but there was nobody smoking. And I'm like, man, if you're smoking a cigar, would you put your cigar out, please? Or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly. But the next thing I know, something grabbed me by the shirt and pulled me back off the chair. And that happened twice that night. Damn. And then me and another friend was standing there, and we watched a guy in a white T-shirt walk right down by the bar, watched him walk right by, and I'm thinking, oh, that was Ryan or something, And I'm like, wait a second, Ryan, ain't you at the, he was at the DVR. I was like, have you moved? He's like, I haven't moved. I'm like, that messed up. And so, I mean, yeah.
So that leads me to a question that Amy asked in the chat. She has a ghost or whatever you want to call it, the paranormal, living in her house, and she like tries to start fights with it. Isn't that a bad thing to do?
It can be, yes. It can be, depending on what that energy is or entity is. If it's a spirit of somebody that used to live there, you might be pissing them off, which will make them stay. And also, yeah, or it could be something bad happened there and you don't know the history of it, and there could be a leftover effect from that tragedy or something bad that happened there.
Mm-hmm. So if you go on these ghost adventures, which could be found on your YouTube channel, which is Valley of Darkness Paranormal Chronicles.
Yes, and it's also the main page, because our YouTube kind of doesn't get a whole lot of hits because I got too many social media pages, so it's hard to keep up on them. So YouTube kind of just falters a little bit. But our main page is the Valley of Darkness Paranormal Chronicles on Facebook.
We have a link for that right here. No, right here.
And yeah, you have to ask to become a member. I just ask you a couple questions, and then you can come in. We got over 5,000 members on there.
Nice. That's it's always nice. Is there any do you guys do like donations, a Patreon? Do you have anything like that to help keep this going?
No, I used to try to sell T-shirts to keep it going, but COVID happened and it kind of shut a lot of things down. It really did, because I had a merchandise line getting ready to launch, and it was a complete line of merchandise, and COVID happened, and I was just scared to go with the huge investment, because it's a huge investment to get a merch line started, and I didn't want to do it, and people's losing their jobs left and right, and nobody's buying nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't want to. I just stopped it until shit kind of gets back to normal.
Understandable. I'm actually we're working on a merch line here, and we kind of want to wait because people aren't really working right now.
Right. Yeah. But no, see, we do investigations, and we don't charge nothing for investigations. And depending on the location, we might ask for a gas donation. That's it, but we try to sell T-shirts and things. And I've had a couple over the years, what would you call them? I don't know, GoFundMe a couple times, which people's donated to, which we highly appreciated too, and helped us get some equipment, because we got a lot of equipment. And yeah.
So did you want to get into this, or is it just something you were forced into because your house had a poltergeist in it?
Well, after I got to the point where I kind of was understanding it more and more from reading and researching, and I started to fear it a little less and less, but at the same time, still, when it happens so fast, your fight or flight kicks in. That's all there is to it. That's why most time you take off running screaming, because you can't fight a ghost, so
Right.
it's for some reason, maybe because I experienced everything that I did when I was a kid, it cuts straight to that freaking adrenaline moment of where it's fight or flight. Yeah. But I've gotten better control over that over the years too, by doing investigations and experimenting at my house, But I started doing experiments in my house and documenting it, and it was pretty cool. I mean, we watched a shoe. We put it in front of the door, and we watched the shoe crawl across the floor on its own accord, real slow, all the way to the other side of the wall, 16 feet. It took it 2 hours to do it, but we sat there and we watched it do it. That was pretty cool.
That's intense.
Right.
There was 4 people there that experienced that too. And all of us was like, that is just nuts.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the one video of the YouTube channel with the thing in the basement with my brother-in-law?
I saw it, but Tony hasn't, I don't think.
Oh, can you put it up?
Oh no, I'm not. I don't have my TV with me.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, fast forward to the last
Jamie, one dead.
60 seconds of it, and it's pretty intense.
He has this. He has this entity that's in his basement. You can actually see it in one of the videos, Tony, that he has. Whenever they're talking about, I think it was finding a dress with bones or whatever, you can see something standing behind. Was it your cousin?
That was my brother-in-law.
Yeah, it was intense.
I have to watch that.
Guy, how
God,
do you
how
get
do you
out
get-
of if you find yourself in the circle?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not too sure either. But I've had people ask me because this whole poltergeist thing really interests me, and it always has with you. But does it follow you? Has it followed you? Like a piece of it followed you around? Like, do you still have it with you?
Yeah, yeah, I have an attachment that I've had since I was a kid, and she's not a bad attachment. Her name's Stella, and she lived in the house years ago during the 30s, and she is actually what's in that video. You caught me that's her. That's
Oh,
Stella,
that's crazy
and,
though.
and that is Stella. And I talked to 2 different psychic mediums, and they both told me the same thing, which they had no way of knowing because I'm talking to one on the phone in Maryland. They had no idea. But they said that they had a tobacco farm factory that they dried back there, and they dried tobacco in it back in the 30s behind my house. And what they would do is they would use acid wash to clean up the buildings to get rid of the bugs.
Mhm.
And it fell on her face. And it fell on her face, and it disfigured her. And that's her in the video. And she said that she feels like she can never move to heaven because she's too ugly. And
Huh.
but now she's kind of a spirit guide. I mean,
So
it's kind of explain.
do you think that Earth, like, I don't want to really get into religion or anything, but a lot of people ask this too. Do you think Earth after you die is like purgatory for these ghosts? Or is it hell?
I don't know, man. That's really, really tough to say with fortitude because who knows? Nobody knows. We won't know until we die. That's we find out.
Even then we might not know because who's to say we will be told?
Right.
Right.
How do you get poltergeist out of your house? Don't you have like somebody come over with like some type of herb and light it in each corner, or how do you do that?
Well, that's what I do. I go in and I cleanse homes. Because
Is it guaranteed to get rid of the spirit though? Is it guaranteed to get rid of the spirit? Because you still have yours.
Right, not every time. Like I said, mine are attachments. If they're attachments, it's a lot harder to break away an attachment. Now, if you just got a spirit in your home, you can come in with some sage and shit, and it'll clear them out. Maybe not the first time, but the second time. If you got attachments though, and they're long-term attachments, sage ain't going to get rid of them. You'll have to use something else to someone else, maybe a shaman or something that's a Reiki master, something that specializes in that to
Like an exorcism.
Yeah, if that was the case, yeah, I know a person that does exorcisms, and I've learned from him a lot over the years, and yeah. But
so when you went to Egypt Valley, because that's near us and it's known for being haunted, did you find anything in Egypt Valley?
yeah, dude. We have like 30 videos done in Egypt Valley, and we're also filming a documentary there right now. It's called The Legends of Egypt Valley, and it's about all the stories of what's happened down there over the years. There's like 15 stories wrapped up into like an hour and a half documentary. It's going to be narrated, but yes, we have talked to Tom Carr, we've talked to the White Fox, we've talked to so many people out there. If you watch the one that's black and white, and it's the song Bad Wolves Freaking Zombies rendition, it's playing in the beginning of the movie or the video. About 17 minutes in, you'll see me going like this, and I'm going, oh my God, I can feel it coming up on me right now. And then you hear it come through the speaker box and says, and I'm like, it's not funny. And he's like, but it was funny. And everybody that was there freaked clear out there. He's like, that's messed up. Like, that was.
You know what's weird about
two-way spirit communication.
What's crazy about the internet is our buddy Kanak, who lives in India, knows about Egypt Valley.
Yes, it's very well known. It's one of the fourth most rated haunted places in America. It's so well known.
Mhm. Like it's crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
Egypt Valley. You talk to all the
Salem
ghosts, or is there Salem?
Salem was actually there's a cemetery now there called Salem, but Salem was actually a small town back in the 1800s. It had a
Mhm.
railroad stop, it had a general store, a post office. I think it was a village of maybe 500 or more people or something right there. But when they mined it, they destroyed all that, took it all out. But yeah, and yeah, there was a church and a cemetery in a little town called Salem.
What's the name? The official name of Circle Cemetery?
I think Old Egypt Cemetery is what they call it. I think.
Because I know they call it Circle Cemetery because if you go around it so many times, you disappear. Some legend. I forget what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I never tried it. Did you guys try it?
No, no, I wouldn't try that. That's tempting fate.
Well, how did Guy disappear again? Oh, he was working on a documentary and he went around the Circle Cemetery.
There you go. Hey, we're looking for anybody that
So what?
wants to be an actor in the documentary because we're doing recreations in the whole 9 yards. So we're looking for anybody that wants to do interviews that's had an experience there, or you know what I'm saying? They've had an experience in there, and it's a good one. It's we'd love to interview them for it and stuff. And we're also looking for people that want to act in the reenactments. So
That's cool.
Well, I'm always down to go on adventures with you. It's just once we both have time.
yeah, I hear you there. That's
So
true.
what is the craziest thing that you have seen paranormal related? Like the most intense thing you've seen or experienced?
At my house or on an investigation?
Period.
At all. Period.
My house. The night that I had 15, 20 people run out the door. And
What happened?
Well, it was right after we dug up that block wall down there and found the bones and found the dress and all that stuff, which we kind of figured out later that it was probably animal bones. But anyways, which was still some sort of ritualistic thing or something. There was still some messed up stuff with it. But that night, it sounds like a TV. It sounded like my house was filled with amplifiers.
Oh shit!
And the phone started ringing, and it's going ring, ring, and there's a woman like, "Hello, hello, who is this? Who is this?" And it's like a preacher talking about messing with the dead, and then it was like radio static, and then it was like flipped back to the phone ringing. And then they were like, "Hello, hello, who is this? Who is this? You're gonna die down there." And then it went back to this preacher talking about messing with the dead, necromancy, and then the next thing I know, somebody went upstairs to get a baby that was up there at the time, and it sounded like the house was made of amplifiers, and something said, "Stay the fuck out of there."
Oh damn, dude!
And the next thing I know, people were pushing each other and just fighting to get out the door. And we're talking grown men here. We're not, we're talking grown men just fighting to get out the door. And I look over at my brother-in-law that was standing there, and he's like this, and he's like, it just pandemonium. But the part is me and my brother-in-law ended up going up them steps, and the whole upstairs was glowing green. It was lit up green. There was no lights on. It was lit up green. And then we had a curtain hanging in the hallway. And we pulled this curtain back. And as we pulled the curtain back, that green just dissipated right into the TV. We go up there. It's dark. There's not a sound. There's nothing. TV's not even on because we're thinking it's a TV, TV's not even on. It's not plugged in. Nothing. And yeah, it was straight pandemonium. But like I said, we've sat there, watched books fly across the room, watched a pack of cigarettes fly off the mantle and land right by my foot.
Yeah, I'd have been
I
out.
would have like freaked out. I would have been out. I'd be like, see ya. Do you believe in heaven and hell, Guy?
Yes, yes, I do. I believe in some form of heaven. I think hell could be just a different dimension of Earth.
And that's what spirits are.
Well, if there's a God, there's got to be a devil, because
Mhm.
that's the yin and yang of life.
Mhm.
Everything is it's the light, the dark, the good, the bad. You know what I'm saying? It's the yin and yang of life. That's the balance of the world, and that's how it is. So if there is a heaven and a God, there's got to be a devil. That's just, you know.
So we have a question from Kathy, who's handling the chat. She wanted to know, have you ever messed with a Ouija board, or is that something you were like, fuck that, I have enough problems?
When we was teenagers and stuff, and we would play around with them, and most of the time, nothing really happened. Sometimes it would move, but you don't know if it's somebody playing it with you. You know what I'm saying? So I never I don't know. You just don't know if it's the guy next to you moving or the other guy moving it. You know what I'm saying? So you were like, okay, well, who's moving it? And you take your, I know I'm not moving it, but.
So, Guy, this is where my
What's that?
This is where my skepticism comes in, because I believe in spirits and stuff, but I don't believe in the Ouija board, like you said, because I saw a video and it was a scientist. He sat down with these people and he asked them questions, and it was moving. And he's like, okay, that is a muscle thing. It's not an actual spirit, because watch this. He blindfolded them and asked them a question, and the thing wasn't going anywhere on the board. It was going off the board. It was in weird places, and they think it's just you unknowingly moving the thing.
Right. Muscle memory. Yeah. That's why I also think the riching rods that are copper, it's muscle. You know what I'm saying? It's muscle tendons. You make this move a little bit, that thing will crawl. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust them either, and I've never trust Ouija boards. Now, I have seen some bad things happen when other people are playing Ouija boards. Seen one fly off the floor and shit, or fly off the table. But that was the only occurrence. But I've seen other people play it. Nothing ever happened. They're moving it around or whatever. And
with Ouija boards, it might not be just the Ouija board that's causing it, though. It could be a negative entity that's just getting upset.
You're the conduit. You become the conduit. It's the same way when you talk to spirits using spirit boxes. You become the conduit,
But with the Ouija boards, they're saying that people will answer however they want it to answer with their muscles.
Right.
Instead of the spirit answer.
That's possible. And like I said, sorry, my dog is up there. He has to go out. But anyway, what was you saying?
I was just saying,
something coming down the steps, and I was like, what the hell?
Here we go. It's happening. Have you ever witnessed a possession?
Yes. I actually helped perform an exorcism on somebody, and it helped them. I think it helped them. I hope it helped them. I lost contact with them after a while, but I really do. It seemed to help. They was puking up black stuff.
Was it as bad? Was it as bad as like the movie The Exorcist, or is that just exaggerated?
That's definitely Hollywood exaggerated for sure. You got to make it scary. Not saying it's not scary or heartbreaking, but
But it's not. It's not like your mother
60 degrees and talk to you. I'm out.
It's not like the your mother sucks cocks in hell kind of shit.
Hey, I don't know how she did that. It was a young 12-year-old girl that did that.
Right?
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta get my dog to shut up for a second. Hold on.
Okay. So what do you think of this shit, Tony?
Very interesting.
That's enough.
So what do you think of that shit, Tony?
It's pretty crazy, man.
Like, oh my God. Here, he's back. There we go.
Don't know how
Welcome
long.
back. You're good. What'd you do? Give him a treat?
No, just told him to shut up.
Your dog actually listens?
I'm training him. He's only 6 months old, but he's still learning.
Oh, not bad. My dog is like 10 years old, and I tell her to sit, and she shits. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's why I always say poop with him. Go poop, you know. Because I don't want him to try to sit in the house and go, yeah, that'd be horrible.
So I have a little ghost story that I think you might find interesting. Hold on. I think you can open the door to bad energy by messing with things like the boards. You can do it by messing with the things, but I don't think the boards is actually ghosts talking to you. I think you're just upsetting them by trying.
It depends. It depends on your, your connection to the spirit world. You know, if you have that connection, you could make that connection doing anything. It doesn't have to just necessarily be a Ouija board, you know, but not everybody has that connection. You know, that's why some people never have a paranormal experience in their life, you know. I believe that schools and the system teaches us to be skeptic of everything.
Mhm.
Oh, that stuff don't exist. There's no such thing. Quit worrying about that. You better not talk like that. They'll put you in an institution, which is what they used to do in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s. You said you've seen ghosts or whatever. They put you in an institution, you know. Lobotomies, freaking electric shock therapy and shit. So,
Yeah, they'd lock all of them up with the same people with like mental disabilities, insane asylums and shit.
And back in the day, they would burn them at the stake, thinking they're witches.
Yep.
Now that only happened in Europe. The burning at the stake never happened in America. They just hung them and drowned them in America. Yeah, the burning at the stake with the during the witch trials. That was all. They only did that in Europe.
I didn't realize that. I thought they also did it in America. I did not realize that.
No, that was something that mixed up a long time ago because they wanted to, and they passed a law or something, some sort of ordinance during that time to where, because they thought it was unhealthy to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's. I don't think it's healthy to drown them either.
Well, or burn them or hang them or whatever you're going to do. That was just a horrible time. Horrible time for, just horrible.
It's
not only that, it's horseshit that you can kill people because of a certain thing. It's just wrong. This person's a witch. We're going to kill them. Oh, okay, cool. This person's a Jew. We're going to. It goes on and on and on. That shit is wrong, and I also believe that has something to do with a lot of negativity that gets thrown out in the air, and people pick up on that stuff.
Right.
I gotta go. They're coming after me. Just kidding.
So
black van.
The black van's here. Straight jacket. He's talking about ghosts again. I think a lot of the modern
My
day
camera is moving on its own.
I see that.
Center. I can't get it to center.
But I think a lot of the modern hatred.
That's enough.
I think the modern hatred towards certain groups is because if you noticed, it's who we're at war with.
And they always create that war every 100 years. They got to find a reason to kill off the population or something, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. But I do believe that a lot of things that happen is because there's like I said, just for as much good in the world there's just that much evil too.
So Kanak wants to know, he's a good friend of ours from India. He wants to know, out of all the ghosts you've met, do you have a favorite ghost? Because some are totally chilled out.
Yeah, obviously, Stella is a favorite of mine. She always comes through in the spirit box sessions. We've caught her on film. You know what I'm saying? And she always, whenever I'm communicating in a forum, she always lets herself known. She always says her name. Hi, it's me, Stella, And she's, I also think she's kind of like a guardian angel too, but not necessarily a real angel, because I think that she has to use energy to manifest, to show herself and talk here and there.
Mm-hmm. That's just crazy. I don't have anything following me, but I did have an event in my life. My grandma died, and that night, normally whenever the nightly ritual for a year was, I'd be on the laptop.
Sorry about
Quit beating off on camera. No. But anyway, my grandma died. My grandma died, and what happened? Nightly ritual for about a year was I'd be on the computer and it'd be real late, and she'd wake up, she'd like rub my hand and then rub my hair and be like, it's time for bed, and I'd go upstairs and she'd sit on the chair and watch TV. Well, when she died, I felt this cold wind brush my hand, brush my hair, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. So I X'd out of what I was doing, and I went to get up, and my dog put his tail in between his legs and ran away from her chair and wouldn't go near it for a year, well, months, until we got a new chair. So do you believe dogs can like sense an energy like that?
Absolutely. I believe all animals can, even like all animals can sense a paranormal energy or an energy that shouldn't be there.
And kids too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, kids are open. They're innocent, and they're an open portal to this. This is why many of them end up with imaginary friends and stuff. And like I said, it's social engineering that makes them skeptics and closes their mind. Eating junk food, it closes your pineal gland. Calcifies the pineal gland when you eat junk food. So therefore, it closes your third eye.
So, question though, it's not really a question, but Ashley Grant said to stop the dog from barking, you should just bring the dog on.
Oh, he'll have the tripod knocked over. He's a 6-month-old German Shepherd. Yeah. My camera will get stomped. The tripod will get knocked over.
That's a big dog.
Not good. He's a big dog too. He's 6 months old and 70 pounds almost.
Don't they grow to be about the size of a deer?
Sometimes they can. But yeah. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, I have a buddy.
Ask about Annabelle.
I will. That's next. I have a buddy that has a German Shepherd, and I walked in their house and it was looking me eye to eye. I'm like, I didn't know you had a deer in your fucking house.
Dude, like, our landlady won't let us have a dog, so that's why we ended up with like a couple of cats and snakes.
And now your landlord thinks snakes are the devil.
Well, I mean, yeah, all those Bible thumpers think all snakes are a visual representation of Satan or something since like the first book of the Bible.
So Amy, I guess, has a German Shepherd. I'm going to bring up her comment. She has a German. Hey, Tony, the chat wants to see her pussies.
They are currently upstairs. One of them is so skittish I can't catch even if I tried. I'm too fat and out of shape.
Guy's back. Welcome back, Guy.
Thank you.
I didn't see that you came back. We were just bullshitting about pussy and dogs.
I seen that.
Do you have any cats or just dog?
I have a cat. His name's Sir Charles.
Oh, nice. Sir Charles the First, or is there another Sir Charles?
No, he's just Sir Charles.
That
just
is
what we call him because he thinks he's the king.
What's your dog's name?
Conan.
Perfect name for a big ass dog.
Yep. I had it in a dream too, so 2 weeks before I even knew he existed.
Has your dog been reacting to any paranormal stuff?
He barks in the middle of the night. He doesn't like coming off he has to get up to pee in the middle of the night sometimes, and he'll get off the edge of the porch and start growling at something, like by the cars, and there's nothing there. He'll look into the cars and there's nothing in the cars. And what's funny is I have a family that pull in the evening, and they come in, they're like, dude, I thought you were sitting in the car. I'm like, what? He's like, I seen you sitting in the car. I walk up to the car, you're not in the car. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, I seen you in the car. Like, so, okay, whatever, man. And
do you think some of these paranormal shows though are just full of shit, just trying to make money off of it?
There's a lot of money in it right now. That's what I can say. But I mean, I'm not going to say either way or another, because it's without being there, it's hard to say. But one thing is for sure is it's a production that's got to be produced constantly. So therefore, some things could be, could be slightly overblown, but for the most part, I think some of them are real investigators and are really trying to find the truth. But I think sometimes when you get a TV show or whatever, production gets in the way, and
Because I've seen some shows where they're like, "Did you hear that?" and you don't hear anything or see anything, and
no. And it doesn't mean that there was nothing there. It doesn't mean they're faking that either, because
you
sometimes you
couldn't
might
hear
be
them.
tuned in and hear something, but nobody else is hearing it around you.
Mhm.
I hear voices all the time, and it took years to get them to where I could tune in to understand them. You know what I'm saying? And it's only when like water's running, or I plug in my guitar to an amp and I just sat there and I just hold my top string with my finger and just let it, and voices come through. Believe it or not, it's just because I'm just a spiritual conduit or something, I've been told. But anyways, I was having a conversation with the spirit through a guitar and an amp. That's just how good it was working. And I don't know.
Do you get afraid of knockings and stuff anymore? Or do you just accept it?
Yeah, I've just been around it too long. Years and years and years. I'm just used to it.
So you have a book out. Is this your first or second book? Sorry, Tony, for blocking.
My first book.
It's fine.
You can buy that on Amazon right now. You just look up The Darkness on Church Street. I looked up your name and it was kind of hard to find. You have to look up G.R. McCort, not Guy McCort.
Yeah, because I did publish it under. What's that?
I live on Church Street.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In Barnesville?
No, out here in Bridge.
Oh, well, that's still cool.
Yeah.
Do you have other books that you're going to publish? Because I know you worked on a few books, but I haven't seen them published anywhere.
Well, I did publish this book, which is Mysterious Ohio. It's about a 200-page book, and it's got some cool tales in it. It's got some things you know about, but it's also got an old poem from 1903 or an old ballad song from 1903 about Liza Fox in it. It's also got stories about just local stories too, maybe, and I published it, and I ended up with 100 and some copies. I ended up selling out, and I need to get an ISBN number so I can reprint it. But this is getting reprinted, and also there's going to be a second to this one that's going to be released soon too. So there'll be The Darkness on Church Street 2, Stella's Revenge, and Mysterious Ohio will be released soon too, along when we get the merch line set up.
Do you plan on doing like a?
Huh?
Do you plan on doing like a doc? I know you did a documentary, but do you plan on doing like a film based on your life or something, on your experiences?
No, because that documentary that's on YouTube now that was done by Planet 23 Productions and Jeff Madzia, it's that's pretty much the documentary based off the book, The Darkness on Church Street.
All right. I checked it out a little bit before going on here, and it's a really good documentary from what I've seen so far.
It is.
You've seen some shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The house is messed up. Sorry, I had to go outside. My dog was annoying the hell out of me.
It's all good.
It's all right, brother. It's all right, brother.
So what do you think about stuff like Annabelle?
I'm sure it's probably a real deal thing. Too many people, like my house, too many people to experience things for it to not to be true.
Like all the Ed and Lorraine Warren stuff?
Yeah, I mean, and people can say what they want about that, but they was the original investigators. They was the first ones, they made famous, and they made these places famous. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't know about Amityville, The Conjuring, Annabelle, the Enfield Poltergeist, and other places. We wouldn't know about those.
So do you like scary movies? Since you are a ghost hunter and all, do you like scary movies?
Absolutely.
Do they scare you?
Nah, sometimes some of them jump scares will scare me, but I love it. I just adrenaline rush. I also like going through haunted houses, like at vacation places or during the Halloween season. We like going through, try to find the scariest haunted house because I like that. I like that energy. It's a control fear, you know.
Mm-hmm. Like it makes a lot of sense because some people either love scary movies that are into what you're into, and some people hate them because it takes them back to a bad place.
Right.
Right. Right.
The thing with Annabelle, though, isn't that what Chucky from Child's Play is based off of?
No, that is more based off of Robert the Doll. Annabelle is just Annabelle. That was the she was a Raggedy Ann doll. Oh my God, Conan!
Did
That's what always bothered me is the fact that they didn't use an actual Raggedy Ann doll in the movie.
that would
I
have been
don't know.
creepier?
Why did they change it up? That's Hollywood for you. No
Just, yeah,
offense
just
to
make it more
anybody,
scarier.
but I mean, it's
Raggedy Ann's creepier.
That's what I think. Raggedy Ann is totally creepier.
Way creepier. Okay, hold on.
Didn't Robert the Doll like kill people or whatever? Or did he like?
He almost killed Ozzy.
He blew it the fuck up.
He buried it on a beach.
Guy's back. Welcome back, guy.
Thanks, man. I'm probably gonna have to go soon and deal with my dog because it annoys the heck out of me when he barks like that because I just
It's all good.
handle it.
What we need to do though, in the next couple months, we need to do this again.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm up for that.
That'd be fun. It was nice talking to you, brother. Let me get some banners up here for you to help promote. You can join the Facebook group, Valley of Darkness. No problem. Valley of Darkness, Paranormal Chronicles. You can also follow Guy on Facebook, which that link will also be in the description. I got to put it in the description because I forgot to. And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. He has all his ghost adventures on there. Valley of Darkness, Paranormal Chronicles. He's got to take care of his moose that he has upstairs.
Yeah, it feels horrible. It sounds like he's killing himself up there or something horrible. I don't know. I can't let him do it though. But thank you guys. You have a great day.
You too,
and
brother.
Happy Labor Day to everybody.
Happy Labor Day, Guy. And also, thank you for tuning in to the Pink Sock Podcast. We love you. We'll see you next week. And it's awesome having you back. It's awesome having you back, Tony.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Come here. Thank you.
There's your pussy. That cat does not look happy. The cat does not look happy.
Kid's been torturing him probably.
The last thing we see on this episode is your pussy. But I know we had some issues. I know we had some issues on this episode, but I'm glad everybody showed up. I'm glad we had fun. Live long, rock hard. See you guys next month.